Mates, thank you so much for staying with us. Lagu Late Made and Nimrod Nkosi on Soweto Television. Our host is News Cafe. Today we've got a wonderful guest. If you love laughing, you'll enjoy this guest as well. I know one of my favorite comedians is Chris Rock, the originator, man, wasn't he? Not originator, but you know, he took over from Abantu Abafana Nabo Richard Pryor. Took over from Abantu Abafana Nabo Eddie Murphy, if you remember Eddie Murphy Raw, you know. But Kevin Hart is your latest hot comedian as well. But we've got our very own. We don't want to compare him, but we're saying what is stepping also in the ground. Labe kona about David Cow and about Trevor Noah. But today we've got Tshepo.com. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It's only a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
You are known as Tshepo.com, but the South African government knows you as who?
Tshepo Samuel Christopher Twala.
My gosh, you Christopher.
Not just Chris,
yes.
Not Christopher, but Christopher.
Oh, hello, Christopher.
Yeah, I twang at times.
Yes,
like,
of course.
If Vaseline is a baseline.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now,
Mr. Nimrod.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted. I'm excited. Wonderful show you're having.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm from Pimville. Where are you from?
I'm from Vosloorus.
Vosloorus.
Yes, Matabela Street, 855, in Lobus 5, Mawukale Konen Gasis J.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Malo mega panzi.
Whoa.
Ubhuti ka Gloria,
Yes.
sisomkhulu.
Yeah.
Ubhuti ka Itumeleng, second born, last
Yes.
born sisomncane uMamosa.
Wow.
Born from parents they are still alive, and I'm blessed to have that Mr. Jonas Twala, aka Papa.
Are you serious? My grandfather, my mom's man,
Yes,
my mom's dad is also Jonas.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope he's not in Nineveh.
No.
Yes, lies.
Thank you for joining us. Listen,
Yes,
let's get to it.
Sure.
We've been exposed to a lot of comedians.
Yeah, sure.
And what I like about the scene is that people have come to express a comedy ngendlela aba represent their communities.
For sure.
You know, at Tegwini, they've got their own circuit there as well.
Yes,
you know, that is Zulu Trivia. You go to Limpopo, there are up-and-coming comedians that are very, very funny.
Sure.
But you are in a niche type of space
Yes,
of Christian comedy. Ngicela ungitshele ukuthi i-idea yakho isuke yaza kuphi in terms of staying or ukungena ku-Christian comedy.
Look, it started way back. Umfana wasekasi. And I'm a Christian myself, kulele Sunday school and all that.
Yeah.
But from ekasi mawukhula sidlala ngeemoto la.
Yeah.
I never used to have cars. But once ngabona ukuthi kune construction yana kuneyitina laphayana, you take that and use it, that break as a car. But not only that, in the element of playing, there's fun that is happening. Uditsebe ulanza abantu, you know. There was bantu wenze so inhloko enkulu wenzani.
Yes.
People love that, and the guys would come and flock. As a matter of fact, you'd have other young men from Amanya Makasi coming in. Then, I mean, different cases use different terms for mocking at the person.
Yes.
Abanye batu kulanzana, abanye batu makwarana,
Yes.
abanye batu makhanana.
Yes.
You know, I used to do that. I was the king Estrat in Sami, and then there's another street, and they'll bring one man and say, no, lozo khana kakhulu. Bebangbizu Kirina, there was a famous joke the kids were playing, and this guy is in the valley and all that. So Sadala, and then the bull, Elon to the Pola Lashai. Window like, and the Masha window like, this guy comes and asks in devil and say, "Go to me first, their alarm." So the name stuck with me. I became Mukirin and all that because Malanzan and all that. In the middle of that, I play soccer. I love soccer. Naseskela, you're doing well and all that. But you still continue going to church. Tamalambelnga Konzi, Olidlia Konza, taking us to church, we start getting involved in Sunday school. It's exciting and all that. But you bring the comic element to school, rather to church.
Yes,
But it's not formalized, it's not getting proper. Someone is not saying to you, move with this thing. So I'm growing up in church.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, when ulanza abanye ngenhloko enkulu, but obviously you're poking fun at your ears as well. I mean, you're joining gentlemen that are gifted when it comes to ears. Martin Lawrence comes to, Will Smith comes to mind as well.
Yes.
When I went to give a grief or baglanza ngendlebe zakho.
Look, I think it's an issue of putting attention to self.
Yeah.
Not only that, the observation yokuthi ekasi mawukhula unekhanda elikhulu bathi uJomo.
Yes.
Mamhlophe kakhulu lately were yellow bone, but
Yes.
then besithi uRoy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
ivete
yes,
hey
yes.
ubovu wena. Hey,
Yes.
mawukwatile during colder time, cold time so bovu, you know, so ne red nose, use red nose day and whatnot. So one observed ukuthi as we grow up, that tempers with your self-esteem.
Yes.
Abanye they drop out at school, someone they become criminals by virtue of that. And ekhaya bayi-endorse lento, but in a negative way. Yeah, wena enhloko enkulu. Yeah, wena kaditsebe. Then one said, no, man, I have these ears. I've heard of so many transplants, but I've never heard of an ear transplant. So I might as well call myself Ditsebe.
No, for sure. So,
Yeah. And when I get on stage, first thing on my set, attention to self. Let people laugh at me so that it's easier for them to laugh. It's easier to put a common ground to say it's okay to laugh at yourself. You're not laughing at yourself because you are mocking yourself. No. You are laughing at yourself because you are embracing what God has given you.
I was going to ask that.
Yes.
But when you are happy with what the Lord has given you,
Yes,
you
sir.
have answered us there. Now, excuse me, you're coming into the territory, yeah, Christianity.
Yes.
You know, Christianity is one of those spaces where innovation is not too kindly
Come on.
embraced.
Sure,
I understand
sure.
what I mean.
Yes.
Because everything is sacred and
Yeah.
there shouldn't be anything.
There's
you know?
boundaries.
There's boundaries
Hamba la
of
ufike la ungathi.
Exactly.
There's
I mean, you had
meetings
Kirk
there.
Franklin as
Yes.
well, who came up with hip-hop and gospel. You know, the Christian community did not take kindly into that
Yeah,
space.
sure.
You
Yeah,
know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
But now, there's another rock band, Christian community, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
That was popular. So now you're coming in and you're finding humor.
Yeah.
You know, in a story that lacks humor really in terms of how they retell the story in a Bible.
They're always serious.
Yes, there's
with their
seriousness.
suits.
Yes, yes.
Ngiyathandazwa la, hlala
Yes.
phansi. Yeah, sure.
Were you apprehensive about that?
Look, it has been an exciting thing. Look, I normally believe that God has given me favor. And the favor, engibana, you'd get into a church whereby the pastor ubekwele phezulu. They honor this man, walking miles afar. Mina ngizothi ngingene, the first thing I'll do ngizongenelela umfundisi. Not because you disrespect,
Yeah.
not because you mock. You're actually saying to the church, look, abafundisi bethu, we have taken them to higher levels. They can't even succumb, or rather come to a level whereby abantu ukuthi
Yeah.
umfundisi ungamthola emona ahamba lapho umfundisi naye ngamthola equeuing. So you forget that, but God has given me a message to say let's bring them to a level. That is why kusasa umfundisi, when he has done wrong, abantu they get shocked, others they want to kill themselves because they've taken umfundisi bam replacer for uNkulunkulu.
Yeah,
So
but
it's a lot of-
you're not exclusively target umfundisi.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm saying to people, because I'm also educating the church.
Yeah.
Ukuthi the very same pastor Nimrod Nkosi is
Yeah.
also human. Makumnandi uyahleka, makubuhlungu uyakhala.
Yeah, what sort of stories do you find humor in the Bible that you're humorous about?
Look, it's not only that. In the Bible, the type of Moses. I mean, we've got the Paralympics in South Africa.
Yeah.
Moses was also a Paralympian. Bekangengisa. God comes to him and says, Moses, how Moses? Yes, Lord.
But you see, but where do you draw the line, though, Ditsebe? You know, because to some people,
Yeah.
like we've just been speaking, Moses is heralded as one of the great prophets and a friend
he's
of
a
God.
leader, man.
Yeah, you
No?
know. And Mount Manju Moses was a Paralympian. Okay.
As I mentioned,
Yes, yes.
the favor that God has given me.
Yes.
It is only Ditsebe.com who can say that. And after people will be able to say, you are not saying Moses is a Paralympian because you are mocking. You are saying Moses is a Paralympian because we've got Paralympians, which we celebrate in South Africa. They're doing it well in Olympics. So it's also an issue of relevancy.
Yeah.
But oh, Ditsebe is also savvy. Ditsebe
Yeah.
is also aware what is happening in our world around us.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not only a soccer fan, he's a sport fanatic.
And before Singena
Yes, sir.
and there are things where we can find, I don't know, a bit of humor
Yeah.
when we look into our world.
Yeah.
You know, in the world of the me generation.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
Instagram and Facebook.
Yes,
you know
yes.
what I mean. Also, the Christian community is in that space as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we wouldn't know Tshepo Twala if it was not the network television.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know.
We wouldn't be interacting with him for that matter.
Isn't it though?
Yes.
And one wonders if the Lord was on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it how many followers he would have?
Yeah, and
you know?
Jesus was on Twitter. He had disciples that would follow him.
I see you. I see you.
And then when Jesus was on Facebook,
Yes.
he was a good friend. He's sticking closer than a brother.
Come on now. Come on now.
Let me preach. Say, Mom.
Yeah. Please tell us about your DVD, Honest Intlebe Magezwe.
Yes, sir.
How was shooting this DVD?
Hey, I'm so excited about it. It is my best work thus far. Though there's pressure, abantu bahlele dining room, uditse buse kitchen, ulokuthi uyapheka. This DVD came about ukuthi the Bible says, he who has ears, let him hear what the Bible
And you
is
can
saying.
hear, right?
I mean, I can hear. I mean, Genesis 1 verse 26, the Bible says, uNkulunkulu masenze umuntu ngomfanekiso wethu. Mina ngithi hayi uJesu bekagqoke all star uthe mafika kimi wangidonsa wathi leso idabula ngendlebe. And here I am, you know.
Yeah.
So this came about ukuthi when we are doing this, I'm addressing so many issues. I'm talking the issues of ushers, how they greet people and all that in a funny manner. I'm bringing order because personally, ngumuntu nje order, like things zibe kahle, I'm neat, that perfectionist type thing. So you need to bring that order in the church. You come to one church, kunomsindo lapha ikhiphoti idlalela phezulu, ama-drums umuntu uyakutuzela. There has to be order because God is a God of order. You'll never see the moon emini. No, the moon knows ukuthi after the sun has gone down, the moon has to come. So there has to be an element of order. So Nezindlebe Magez is basically talking even to the pastors. How sometimes some of them don't prepare and all that and all that. I mean, how the demons adlala ngabafundisi, you know, so phuma idemon lithi ungazodlala wena. Awunamandla uzongikhipha kanjani? I'm talking about those issues. So it came about ukuthi, you know, I did what I call, because my first DVD was done 2010. God just gave me a vision. Out of nowhere, Danims. It was called Christmas for Laughs. God gave me, I mean, we worship. People are lifting their hands in Valamel. God sees ngizibona ngise stage wearing a black and white suit. People are laughing. Then I was able to interpret that what God is saying, because I wanted to celebrate my birthday. Nabantu, because I'm born 24 December.
Oh, okay.
So then,
lucky you.
Prior to
because we
cutting race. So then ngibona lento mangi interpret, no, because uNkulunkulu, you've got the gift of comic. Let people know about me in a comic manner. Sometimes my issues in the church, they become so heavy. Fundisa ufuna ukukhuluma ngetithes abazalwane bafika late, but uDitsebe.com can come there and say, no man, hey, keep it tight there, come on, uzova grand. Then people are like, when they laugh and connect the gag to the message, they remember easily. So this was birth about 24 December 2010, Christmas for Love. And then I made an oath to myself, every year 24th December, I'll be shooting a DVD. This became the latest DVD. So 24 December, I'm coming there, people are gathering, Christmas for Love. It's been #1 Christian event you can get. People are flocking into my page now, Tshepo.com, and say, Baba, we need it, we need it.
Where do we get it?
At the moment, it's on stores, Icona, a silver tin, but we are still pushing other copies. But Tshepo.com is on Facebook. People can just inbox me, DITSEBE.com. And then on Twitter, follow me as I follow Christ.
Of course.
Tshepo for Christ, Christian and comedian.
You also do MCing work, isn't it?
Yes,
It's not only Christian comedy that you do. You do corporate work as well.
Yes, Tshepo is vast. Look, Tshepo is vast. You know, Tshepo is a Christian comedian. He's an MC for corporate and 9 corporates from your 21st, 31st, 41st, 51st. 91st, 101. I'll be there to MC. He's also a speaker, very passionate about young men issues. Paul talks to his protege Timothy in the Bible and say, I pray that men should lift up holy hands without anger and quarreling. And today these hands, men beat up their wives. With these hands, with these hands, so I'm passionate about these young men. Let's teach them how to treat my sister. And all that. But it starts there. People know my story. I mean, people know my glory. Vosloorus TV, he's there on Gospel Time, he's there on Gospel Classics as a voiceover artist. But they don't know my story. So I'm passionate about those things. I'm a radio and a TV personality. I'm a brand endorser. I'm a businessman. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I've got a wife. Gloria Noma Temba is my wife. You understand that thing? So I am vast like that, simply because as Utanimza, which we commend you, you've started in the game, Sikbonile Guchamel and all that. Nivuli Lindela 14, and we thank God for you. Today I'm sitting here with this great man.
Thank you.
Utanimza Simbonati, oh yo Bangani. Okay, we're not 2000. Ishoge, tell you Kitty box now, but the middle cent. I'm taking you. You know? So we thank God for that. So Tshepo has been booked for that. He's coming into companies, talking, I mean, conferences. He talks to these young men. Slely pants, unconventionally, so it's totally short. Let these young men talk about these issues. So Tshepo is also a businessman as well.
All right, one final question because
sir.
as the company yako konje ibizwani?
Ditsebettainment.
Ditsebettainment.
Entertainment from Ditsebe.com's point of view. Ditsebettainment.
All right, my
Yes,
man,
sir.
thank you so much for coming to
Wow, I'm delighted.
the show. Truly.
Because about the ityaba ixesha. Man.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming through.
I'm so excited.
From our first
Thank you so
meeting,
much.
and we made this happen. I really appreciate it.
You're a great man. Thank you so much, sir. I spoke to you. It only took one call and said, please come through. And I'm here. May God do you well.
Thank you so much.
Late
I
mate,
received
we
that.
continue mating.
No. Hey, okay. Young man at Ditsebe.com for coming to the show.
Yes,
I
sir.
also does corporate functions. If also you've got functions that must not doing, let us relax. God gave us a joyful spirit to enjoy within the confines, of course. You know. So here's another a young man that is pioneered in that space. When you see other people coming into it, you know, remember, Guti, like David Gower said, we started these jokes first. So he's a pioneer in his field. Please support him. Ningamlandela ku Facebook na ku Twitter, but most importantly, support him ngokuthenga i-DVD yakhe Ditsebe.com onezindlebe magezwe. Stay with us.